This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, Prem, Pranay, Ashwini, sorry, Srini, Munswami.
No, Sujit, I didn't get the time to do it.
Okay. Anyone else? Munswami, Srini?
Sorry, Sujit, even I didn't get chance to read.
Okay.
Don't mind,
So
we're quite busy.
waiting for the weekend then again.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, people will do the same. Okay. So what about Sahitya? Munswami? And one more thing I just want to ask. So the pace I am going, is it okay for you? Able to understand clearly?
Okay for me, Sujit. I'm
Okay.
fine with it.
Okay. What about others?
I'm fine with it as well, Sujit.
Okay.
Such a theory part is fine. While executing the program, I feel it is bit fast.
Okay. Where, in which scenario? I just want to know.
In the previous session, I mean in the yesterday session, I felt like it is bit fast.
Okay. In the what do you call it? This one, on-premises deployment.
Yeah. Because I'm from
Because that is,
non-IT background, so
I
I
understand.
felt it, yeah.
That's why recording is given. And that too, why? I mean, it's not fast actually. The theory part, what I said, that is important than practical.
Yeah.
Practically, there is nothing. I mean, it is very less part, right? Whatever I shown in theoretically how it works behind the scenes, that is important, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that
I will take it as
I'm
a
able to
feedback.
follow.
Yes, I will take it this one. Okay, I will try
Thank
to. I will go a little bit slow.
Okay, thank you so much.
So let me start today's session, guys. I think Rajesh also joined. Hi, Rajesh. Mike will be on standby mode till that time, and few more people. Hey, hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss about consuming a REST API. How to consume a third-party REST application. So normally, forget about email. How you will consume a REST API? Any REST application. Any REST
By
application.
accessing that RAML file.
REST API means RAML API. I mean, RAML is nothing but your API. Okay. That means based on the design you mean to say?
Yes. See, when it comes to SOAP, we use that WSDL file where we configure client details and destination details. Right?
Okay.
Sort of. I mean to say sort of that.
Okay. Otherwise, I will discuss some other topic, which is nothing but a file module, which is a small module. Today, I will leave a little bit early. I mean, 15 minutes early. Okay. So I will start with the file endpoint today. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, I'll continue with the consuming a REST application and consuming a SOAP application. Okay. Is it fine? Is it fine for everyone?
Yes, Sujit.
Yeah. One second before that. So the use case is here. See, in my application, in my machine, there is a C drive. In that C drive, I have a folder. Okay, in my C drive, I have a folder called files folder. Okay, files folder. In that files folder, I have few more subfolders. Input folder is the one. Okay, and I created output folder. and one more mode folder. Okay, 3 folders: input folder, output folder, and a mode folder. Now, by simple requirement, see this file endpoint, file module concept you may use in your real-time scenarios multiple times, multiple ways, right? Just I'm showing how you use in your Mule application that file module. Okay, that's what we are going to discuss, right? So, anyone from Java background here who are present? Java background. So, what is a stream? What do you mean by stream?
Come again, Sujit. What is the question again?
What do you mean by stream? Stream.
Stream
English
is
word.
something a flow.
Stream. Stream is something
flow.
nothing but a flow, right? Flow. If it is a river stream, what do you mean by that? River stream.
Kind of importing.
1 second. Why it is taking to this point? One second, guys. Why it is taking this to Package Explorer? Just don't follow this. What I am doing here, don't follow that. Okay. Yeah, river stream means flow of water, right? Flow of water. What do you mean by binary stream?
Flow of
Binary
data.
stream. Flow of binaries.
Flow.
In simple words, it's a flow of binaries. Why I'm telling this one here is file endpoint in either in Java or whatever it is, file input stream, file output stream, buffered input stream, buffered output stream, you might have seen, right? So input stream is nothing but, a stream is nothing but a flow. In this case, it's a binaries. My file endpoints are blind. They don't know what structure they are reading and what structure they are going to write as well, right? They don't know about that. So it will read in a binaries and it will process in a binaries, and it will, if you want to write it also, it will write it in a binaries. Before that, if you want to write it the data into some other files, that structure you need to create before using a write component, correct? If you are reading any data, if you want to process that, you can process that by using a input stream, right? So basically the point is file endpoints are blind. Okay, now let me explain that with a case. So in our scenario, I have a files folder, input, output, and mode folders are the subfolders in that. Now, whenever I place any file in this input folder, automatically my Mule application to be triggered, right? And it should process the files present in it, right? At the same time, any new modification is done, or else any modification is done in the file, then also my file endpoint to be triggered automatically, right? Or else if any new file is created, then also my file endpoint automatically to be triggered, right? So these are the scenarios. First scenario is whenever I place any file in this input folder, automatically my file endpoint should trigger and you should process the record. So what is the data I can have in the folder which I have given to you in the Mule 4 labs and workspace? I have taken one of the sales data, inventory details. Basically those are called as an inventory details. What do you mean by inventory details? Yes, inventory details. Yeah, inventory means what? If it is sales team,
Maintaining stock.
yeah, so details of the particular product, when it is sold, what is the date of the transaction, and which state, city, which product got sold at what price. So basically the details of that purchase order or a sales order, right? That is nothing but your inventory details, right? Now in this inventory details, what type of file it is? Example, it is a CSV file, comma separated value file, right? Now my first requirement is what? I'm going to place this sales.csv file, sales file in my input folder. I placed it in input folder. Now my file endpoint to be triggered, and then it will pull onto this directory and should process that record. So let me import a project called, actually this is a very easy concept. Just I'm telling you, how to work on any point. How to write the code in your Mule application. That's it. Nothing else. No. 01 using a file module start project I have used. Click on finish. Yes, it's an empty XML. Now let me add a file module. How to add a file module or any module to your project? Yes, how to add? Very simple.
From search palette to drag it to
Yeah, drag it to
On
the palette.
On search
left
palette or add modules? I thought of
Click
I
on
am
add
asking
modules and then
a small question. Add modules.
Yeah.
Under the add modules, any module if it required, you can search here, right? If at all it is not present, then you can go to the search in Excel. Right now, file module is present. Let's drag and drop onto the build bar. So these all are the operations, very small operations. See, copy, create directory, delete, move, read, rename, write. All these are very small operations. While explaining on new or updated operation, we are going to see these are small operations, right? So on new or updated file. So by seeing this name, what type of character it is? What you're able to identify? On new or updated?
to trigger the task if the file is new or updated file.
Yeah, exactly. Any new file is added to that particular directory, it will trigger. Any modification is done in the directory, it will be added. Correct? Now, if I drag and drop this on your updated onto the canvas in a flow, where it is going to be placed? In a flow, where it is going to be placed? In source, process, where?
Process.
Source, right? It will source the data. That means where it should want to poll, right? So every character will have some connector configuration. Connector configuration, we need to configure that. Click on plus sign. We are going to establish a connection with this directory. What is the directory? What is the base directory here? C colon files is the base directory. Yeah, please respond, guys.
Yes.
C colon files. Can I use this as a global element? That means can I use across my project since it is acting as a global element?
Yes.
Next, here directory. What is the directory I want to poll on?
Files folder.
Input directory.
Input directory. That means input folder name. Input. What do you mean by recursive?
Within it, in general terms.
Exactly. Recursive means not looping. Many people will get confused here. Recursive means repeated. It's not a loop. It's an if the file is present inside a directory and inside a directory, that means in the subdirectory, it will recursively poll onto that. It will process that file. By default, make this option as a tick mark. That means please check this recursive option. If the file is upfront outside of the folder, also automatically process. Okay, by default, make it as a recursive. Remaining things, I will take it as a default. Okay, next, I will use a logger here. Whatever it is processed, what will be the payload after this on your updated file? Basically, first of all, tell me on your updated file is an inbound endpoint or not? What we configure in the source part, basically. Yeah, what we configured in a source part in a flow. Inbound endpoints, correct? Now, on your updated file is an inbound endpoint or not? Of course, yes, right? Which is sourcing the data from the outside, right? Now, once it is processed, what that inbound endpoint will do?
Generate a mule event.
Convert that into an event, right? So in that event, right now, what is the payload value after this on your updated file? Payload value, according to the configurations, it will go under the directory, input directory, and it will process this record. That will be the data, right? Right. That payload I want to display on the console. Okay, that's why given here. Let me run the project. Sorry. Sorry if my voice is low, little bit low, and now please adjust. My sessions will start from evening 4:30 till 9:30, continuously back to back. Maybe you may be listening for the fresh. I'm not fresh. I'm a little bit old. My voice is a little bit old by the time. So it is deployed. So is it processing the record? Is it getting displayed on the console? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. How many times it is processing? Let me clear the data. Again, is it processing? Again, is it processing? Right? So how many times it is processing? Actually, the first requirement, I want to pour onto that and I want to process the record. Is it fulfilled? First point? Yes. Now, I don't want that file to be processed multiple times. Second scenario. What changes I can do at this configuration level? What changes I can do if I don't want to process that multiple times?
We need to set frequency.
If you set a frequency, after that frequency again it will start in processing. After the time limit again it will process, right? Yes. Very simple. I think very simple option I have shown. I mean, it is there on the screen. Answer is on the screen.
Do you have to post processing action, move it to a different directory?
Either we can move to some other directory or else. First, I will go with auto delete. Post to processing action auto delete by default it's a false. Make it to true. Now, if I make it to true, just have a look here in the input directory. I'm just saving this application. It will be restarted. So once it is processed, your file is going to delete. Post processing, your file is going to delete. When my on your updated file is pulled onto the directory, the second time, will it find any file? No, right? So it will not processed. That is the second simple scenario. Second scenario. Ashwini, are you able to understand clearly?
Yes, Sujay.
Yeah. Next. The third requirement, as I said, I don't want to delete. So I will change the configuration to auto delete false. Right? This time I want the file to be processed only one time again. What to do? Just now you told. I can move to some other directory. Which directory I can move? I want to move to moved folder. Right? What is the base directory already configured here, right? So I want to move to moved directory. But the challenge is whenever I'm moving any file after processing to moved directory, I want the file name with some extension like backup. I want to rename that name to original file name with an extension as a backup. What I can do?
Rename to.
Okay. Rename
Give
to.
a name in rename to.
Okay. See, if I hardcode that value, if any file process, it will be the value. It will be the name. But dynamically, if I have two file names dynamically, whenever it is processed, I need to get original file name.
Expression, the date or something.
If it is HTTP request, there are attributes, correct? To get that
Yes.
request attributes. Similarly, file is also will have some attributes like file name, file path, timestamp. All these are attributes. Why can't I get a file name from attributes? Attributes dot file name will give the original file name, and I want to concatenate with some string. I want
Timestamp.
to give backup. I just want to give as a backup. Save it. Now I say save it again. It will be restart your application. Then I want to again copy the sales.csv file in the input folder. Once it plays, how many times it is processed? Here, one time. If I clear the data, is it processing again? But where is the
No.
where is the file? Where is the file? It is moved to moved folder with a name backup. Now we are able to see. Yes. Next, my fourth requirement is I don't want to delete. I don't want to post processing action. I don't want to delete. At the same time, I don't want to move to some other directory. But the file to be processed only one time. What is the configuration I can do? Yeah. What is the change I can do? What is the configuration change I can do? Think and tell. Think and tell. Answer is on the screen only. Others also can respond. Munuswami, Pranay, Vishnu, Rajesh.
Yes, Sujit.
I think we
I'm with
can
you.
rename it to backup and make the changes at a matcher level. There it is none, right?
Matcher. Okay. What do you mean by matcher? What is that matcher?
I mean, see, I'm just presuming that it's kind of if we give the name, it may match with the file name. I'm not
Okay,
sure.
file name
Just
will
guess.
match and it will process. But my requirement is I want to process the file only one time. I don't want to rename also. That is not my task.
Can
I
we
don't want to
remove the
rename.
recursive?
No, recursive, that's what recursive means. That is totally the meaning is it will pull onto the subdirectories and it will process that. That is the meaning of recursive. My requirement is I don't want to delete. At the same time, I don't want to rename and move to some other directory. I don't want to do that. But the file to be
Scheduling
processed only
strategy.
one time. A scheduling strategy, if it is fixed frequency, after the frequency again it will start, right?
No, are there any? I mean, one-time schedule kind of. I mean, we are unable to see the drop downs, right? Okay.
Chronicle expressions. The expressions, the time zone that if you know about the chronicle expressions, you can write. Yeah, check other options. There are few more options. Last options, only two options remaining in this entire screen. Watermark mode. Watermark mode. There are three strategies in watermark mode. First, by default, is a disabled. Another is modified timestamp. Now you are able to understand. I mean, by seeing the name, you are able to understand now. Got some idea? Modified timestamp. That means what? Whenever your application is processed for the first time, it will store that timestamp. That means that file timestamp in somewhere. And when you try to deploy the application again it will check the state of your application and you will it process or not, depends on that, right? If it is modified, it will process, otherwise no. Let me deploy the application, then I will explain how it works. With the changes I'm deploying, is there input folder here? In this input folder, I don't have a file. Let me take that file. So let me place that. Yeah, how many times it is processing? Let me clear the data. How many times? One time?
Only one.
But my file is moved or deleted from the input folder?
No.
No, right? Okay, one more example. Let me stop the runtime. Let me deploy this application again. Now tell me how many times the file will be processed, one time or two times? How many times file will be processed?
Only once.
Only once? Any other answers?
I think it will not process.
I just deviated you to one or two. Why it is not processed? I deployed as a brand new application. No, again, I stopped the server and I tried to deploy it again. Yes, stick on to your answer. Will it process or not process?
You are confusing me, Sujit.
Purposefully, I do that. Yeah, how many times it is processing here? 0 times. It is not processed. Because, okay, what you thought of why it is not processed? Now the answer is clear. Why it is not processed?
The file name, it was already registered with runtime, and it got
File
updated
not,
with timestamp.
not
Though
file.
you restarted runtime, but that will be treated as a new file.
Exactly. The thing is, once you configure it as a modified timestamp, it is storing the timestamp of your application when it is processed for the first time, right? At a server level, in an application at a server level, it is storing somewhere, right? Now that means even though if you stop the runtime and if you start it again, it is storing the previous invocation state of your application, correct? Where it is stored? Let me show you the place where it is stored. This is my runtime setup, correct? Yesterday we discussed, which is pointing to embedded runtime of your AnyPoint Studio. Let me go to the Explorer. Now AnyPoint Studio plugins mule runtime, under the runtime .mule folder. In that, these are all the applications I deployed till now under in this AnyPoint Studio, right? So what is the application name? 01 using file module start. When 2049 last time registered. Now where it will be stored the timestamp? There is something called object store. Object store. In that object store, we have some temporary files which will carry some key value pairs. That means which will store the data in some key value pairs. So these are the temporary files. When the last time the application got deployed, what is the latest run? Where is the latest timestamp? Well, now it is 4 minutes past already, right? 2055, right? So it is storing the previous invocation state of your application, and when you try to deploy the application again, it will not process based on the timestamp. Okay, let me do some modification on this. I'm editing this sales start file. Okay, I'm just removing the first line item. Okay, immediately I'm saving this. As of now, is it processed? I mean, I didn't save it again. As of now, not processed, right? Let me save it. The timestamp will be changed. Now it is processed. Yes or no? In the input folder, if we can cross check, the timestamp is changed. 2059. That's why is it processed? Yes. Yeah. That is the concept of watermarking mode, right? And where it is stored at a server level in an object store. Object store, again, it's a very big concept that detailedly discussed in my architecture course, right? Now, it's a very good option. I mean, you configured perfectly according to the requirement given by my client. But while processing, while development stage, you might process the application multiple times. Okay, I mean, you need to process the files multiple times along with this option, right? Now, every time we cannot go to the object store and delete this cache memory manually. We cannot do that every time whenever you deploy the application. So in such scenarios, what you will do? MuleSoft has given a very useful option. Let me stop this. Normally, how you will deploy the application? Right click on this, run the project. Right? Sahitya, some little bit background noise. Thank you. So normally you will run the application like this, but this time what you can do? Right click on this, run as Mule application configure. Now, which application I'm deploying? 01 using a file module start. Now, if you expand this window, there is something called clear application data. By default, it's a never. That is why it will not remove any time of the cache memory. Now, if you give a prompt, select as a prompt and try to run the application. go to the object store here at the runtime level. It will ask you at your Anypoint Studio level, it will ask you whether you want to clear the application data. If I click on yes, now your application will be removed entirely from your runtime and it will be deployed as a brand new application. So this time what happens, it will be treated as a fresh application and your file will be processed or not. Your file will be processed or not. Now you can see again this 01 file module start application got deployed. What is the timestamp of that? Just now 2102. Are you able to follow me, guys? Are you able to follow me? Yeah, is it processed? Now it is processed again, right? Did I change the data? I mean, did I modify the data? No, right? Because it is clearing the state of your application previously and it is started again. Got it? Got it? Yes, no one is giving an answer. Oh my god, what happened? Suddenly. Yes, Srini? Is it
Yes,
clear?
yes, Sujit. Yeah.
Ashwini? Prem? Rajesh?
Yes, we can.
Vishnu? Pranay? Understood?
Yes, Sujit.
Okay. Now, the next point is I am getting some input from the client like this. This is the path. I'm writing a product name, product price, product ID. Product name is Samsung, product price is some value, and product ID is also some value, right? Now, once my client sent the request, my Mule application should get the data from the attributes, and I want to write to some example like I want to write some CSV file. I want to write this data into some CSV file or text file, whatever the file you want, right? So basically, if you want to get this data and if you want to write the data into some other file, first we need to listen to this request. So in order to listen to this request, we need to configure
HTTP listener.
Listener. I will configure. Let me configure that listener. What is the path? Port number 8081 is the port. And what is the path? Right is the path. Right. Now I said if you want to write any data into any structure, any file, we can use which connector out of all this? Specifically written
Right.
right connector. Just drag and drop this right connector here. So before that, did I used all these operations? Move operation I have used, read operation I have used, rename operation I have used, delete operation I used, create directory I not used. We are going to show in the right connector, and list I will show you. Okay, it is very small. And copy. See, these are very small operations. Copy. If I drag and drop the copy here, it is asked for source path and target path. Whether while copying you want to overwrite or you don't want to write, and if you want to rename it, these all things we have seen, right? See, these are very small operations. That is called the modularity in Mule. They follow the same structure while designing the application. Database, same structure. File, same structure. That means every operation is given as a connector. By using that connector, we can establish a connection between the external application and with this Mule application, right? Now, write what I need to write. Whatever the payload you are going to get, that will be written. Where I'm using the base configuration C: files. In that C: files, where I need to write, I want to write it to output folder. So give the path. What is the folder name? Output. And the data what you are going to get, in which format you want to write, and what is the file name you need to specify. I'm just writing the file name as products. I thought of creating a CSV file, but as I said, file endpoints are blind. this write module don't know which structure they are going to write. I mean, we are going to write. So before this write module itself, we need to create a structure, right? And whatever the data you are going to create, if parent directory, output directory is not available in that folder, it will create automatically, right? And write mode, there are three options: append, create a new, and overwrite. By default, it's overwrite. And if you want to append the data, which if it is already existing, and you can create a new. Right now, I don't have any folder or a file with that name, so I'm just creating a new. Now, I have clearly written where to write, what is the path, whether you want to overwrite or not. Everything I have clearly designed here. But now the point is, what is the payload right now? From where I can get the payload? Yeah, what is the payload? Yeah, what is the payload as of now? If I deploy this application? Yes, it's very simple question. What will be the payload in the event after this listener?
Whatever is coming from HTTP request.
But did I mean, what is the request from the HTTP request? What is the payload I'm getting? Empty body, empty payload, right? Empty. Now, what is our agenda? I want to extract this query parameter and I want to write it into CSV structure. So, if you want to create any structure, we need to create a structure by using a transformer. So there is something called transform message. Let me drag and drop this transformer message before this write connector. So what will be the input for this transformer right now? Event. In that event contains payload, variables, and attributes. But of course, payload is an empty. Variables, empty. I have not created any variable as of now. Attributes, yes, I have some attributes. What type of attributes I have in this request, incoming request? What type of attributes? Question mark represents what?
Query
Query
parameters.
params. Query params. So I want to extract that query parameters and I want to write into my own fields. So I need to define the output structure. How to define the output structure? Here you can see output data, define metadata. So we are going to create one file. What type of file I want to create? I'm just giving a name, products, CSV file, right? Create a type. So I just given a name. Yes, what is the type? You can select the type right now. We can create a different type of a files. Right now I want to create a what type of file? CSV type of file, right? Now in that CSV we will be having some headers, right? Now I want to create my own headers and I want to extract these values and I want to set under that headers. So right now instead of product name I want to create a header like p name. It could be any data type, string type, integer type, or that means number type, boolean type, whatever it is. Let me take it as a string. And one more, p price. It's up to you. Whatever the column name you want to use, you can give that. P name, p price, p id. Okay. Now let me set on that. So on the output side, it will create some structure. CSV structure. Now, how to get that values? You know already how to get the values from the data view expression by using a data view expression. What is the expression we can write? Or else, can I map it from the left side to right side if you have input and output? Can I map it?
Yes.
Yes.
So what type of request I'm getting? I mean, what type of attributes? Query parameter attributes, right? So query params. Just drag and drop onto the name attribute. Automatically, the output format is converted into which format? CSV format. That is what we defined as a metadata. Yes or no? How many times I need to drag and drop here? 3. attributes dot query params dot product name, product price, sorry, and one more, product ID. Are you able to understand now clearly? This data view expression will be evaluated and that value will be fetched and it will be a part of your P name and P price and PID. Save it. Right? Now let me deploy this application. Once it got deployed successfully, then I can give a request. Now, can I give a request? If I give this request, yeah, now you can see the output body because in the listener, I just simply given a payload. What will be the end payload after this application? That is the payload. It is given back to the client. At the same time, according to the write module configuration, will it write that values to products.csv file present in that output folder? Yes, file got created with the product's name CSV file. Data is written to that? Yes, no. How we have written? By using a write connector. Understood clearly, everyone? How to use a write connector? Yes, no. So we might have seen all the operations and list. What is that list? In this on your updater file only I will show. Here there is something called matcher. Right now none. If you go with edit inline, it's like a matcher only. Matcher and list both are same. Now you can see there are some filters. If we have 10 files in your input folder, like 5 HTML files, 5 PDF files, 5 CSV files. Example. Now if you want to process only PDF files, so it comes under which filter? File name pattern? Yes or no? What is the file name pattern? Star represents all the files, dot with what extension? PDF. So it will process all the PDF files present under this configuration in this input folder. Okay? For remaining things, if you want the scenario, you just write out. Okay. Remaining things, if you want to filter, let me browse. Docs.MuleSoft, that means MuleSoft documentation. Under that, how can you search for any module or any component? In the search in docs, just type for list under file. So list files using file connector. I'm just clicking on that. Okay, it comes under file connector examples. Just come down. Yeah, this is the syntax which can be used for all. Right? I'm just giving you in a chat box. You can take it down. You can copy and you can try it. This is the syntax. I just shown for path, right? I mean for filter path, same thing. So filter name path. A star represents any, I mean not star. There I have given example as A. That means any application with an question mark represents an optional. Okay, question mark represents an optional. So any file name we can give here with an extension of HTML or PDF, any other format, right? Only that files can be processed if at all it is present in that directory according to your configuration. Okay, just try it out with all. Got it? So this is a very small concept actually. Totally you might have used in your, I mean in your career multiple times in your experience, but how to use an ML, that's what we discussed. Okay, any questions here?
Sujit, while renaming into different name, can't we use dynamic timestamp value?
Timestamp value? I didn't get that point.
Earlier we have given it as backup, right?
Okay, that date and time. Yeah, that is if it is a part of attribute, we can do it.
Okay.
See, file contains some attributes, correct? File name,
Correct.
file pattern, file path, all these. You can extract that by using a date name, and you can do it.
Okay.
So same concept as I said in any other application, I will do the same thing here also. The option and look and
That's
feel
what.
is different.
Is it feasible here? I just want to check whether it
Yes,
is
yes,
feasible here.
yes. Okay.
And one more question, Sujit. Here,
Yes.
all we are performing, posting input file into the console. But how about we can process it into database? I mean, to some other destinations. Are these
That's what
features available?
by using the right module, that's what we have done in the file, into the file. You use the database there.
Huh.
After this processing, if you want to write into the database, you remove that logger and you need to configure the database modules.
Okay.
The next topic will comes under database, then you will understand how to insert. By using insert option, we can insert that payload value, what are the payload value after processing by on your updated file. That payload value, if you want to insert into the database, then you can insert as well.
Okay, understood.
Yeah.
And one more question, Sujit. So, is there any an email notification features? Let's say if the file stuck in that folder for XYZ hours, can we send any email notification?
I don't think so. It is available here.
Okay.
I don't think so. I didn't come across it.
Okay.
But I will check it out for you.
Yeah, please.
I will check it out. I didn't come across with that scenario. I need to check. Blindly, I can't tell there is no feature, but I will check and tell you. Yeah, shall I stop the session for today? Tomorrow we'll discuss about consuming a REST API, consuming a SOAP API, and database and all. Okay, this entire week. Thank you.
Yes.
Sujit, can you send the video link to me?
Diary, diary you are sending, right?
Yeah, so you will send today's right away?
The WhatsApp I shared only for you purposefully I shared, and the same time I uploaded also on that same link.
Okay. Yeah, okay, sounds good.